Hey, recording in progress. Welcome back, you guys. Hey, so what was that? You're still hungover? Is that what I heard?
Mm-mm.
You only had one margarita.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. How you guys doing?
Good.
Bernadette's here. Sarah Dawson's
Yeah.
here. Walker is Walker. Hang on, let me make sure she's not sitting there too, you guys. Okay, yeah, she's not here yet. I think Walker's gonna try to join us, but hey, I do have for today, you guys. I do have a few videos. That we are going to discover together because this is one topic that I think is going to be very, very beneficial once we dig into it. You guys will see why. But I'm going to say I did not prepare, and this is an area of area for me that I wouldn't say I'm an expert in. Anyways, I may have a little bit more experience possibly dealing with this stuff, just because of the last 20 years dealing with a lot of different people with a lot of different schedules and a lot of different lifestyles. Okay, but let me give you a preface of what this talk's going to be about today. Okay, and again, I would like this to be a discussion more than me just talking at you. I love to talk, but I want to get some input because again, this is something that I'm going to learn with you guys. I didn't even really watch these videos. I saw pieces of them, so we're going to watch them together and we're going to learn today. But this is going to benefit everybody. So first of all, any questions? Any questions from you guys? Remember, this can be about anything. This is like little Q&A. You could ask me whatever.
Hmm.
Fitness related, health related. No? You guys never have any questions. You know what? You know when you guys have questions, whenever we start burpees at boot camp, you guys want to start coming up to me and asking me
What?
shit. Whenever we start like doing mountain climbers, you guys want to like, okay, whatever. That's fine. That's fine, you guys. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to have any questions. Okay, I see some of you guys are multitasking right now. That's part of what we're going to talk about today. But I want to tell you something. So 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 a lot of you guys don't know. I don't expect you. I wouldn't expect you to know this. My background, with like as far as high school and how I grew up and stuff. But so I played sports all my life, little league and all that good stuff, and then every sport, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, and then when I got to high school, I pretty much excelled. I remember my little league football team. I was like the MVP. We won the city championships, all that stuff. And when I got to high school, I was good. I was still good. I played my freshman year. Okay. But I was like distraught because I'm very, very competitive and I was going into freshman. And in my mind, I thought I was just going to go in and like dominate. And I was going to, like outplay all these seniors and these guys that have been doing it for years and all that stuff. But one thing that I noticed was they were working out real hard. And like, and even at that age, they started getting with specialists like sprinting coaches. And I never had anything. I didn't have any of that stuff. I wasn't even working out at that point. I was just kind of banking off my talent, right? So I played my freshman year and I was like, man, I got to do something. Like if I'm gonna keep playing, like I have to start. I gotta start working out. I gotta start developing. I got to get physically to the same level, right? So I literally, this is what's crazy. Um, I still played some sports. I kind of took off from football. That was like my main sport, and I would get up before school and I would work out. Nobody told me to do this. I would get up before school and work out. And then I would actually go back to bed. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I should have ate or something, but I would go back to bed. Then I would get up and ride the bus to school, and then I would eat at school. Go to school, do all that stuff. Then I would have homework, or sorry, not homework. Then I would have practice after school, right? For the other stuff I did, and then I would have homework and all that shit. And of course I maintain my grades so I could play sports. But anyways, I took 2 years off, and I just focused on that for 2 years. I really, really used my time, and I was like, man, if I don't get up in the morning and hit this workout, I'm not gonna have time to do it. So, anyways, long story short, is I my senior year, I decided to go out for football again, and I started. All right, I got started running back position. I led the whole league in rushing. I was unanimous first team. I was voted by every coach in the league to be the best running back. I got recruited and all that shit, play college. So I did really well. But my point is, you guys, had I not at that young age, at that ripe old age, had the wisdom to like manage my time, it wouldn't happen, you know? Fast forward to college. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I had some kids. Okay, decided not to play football. I had some kids early, and I was working. Going to school. And my first degree, I got all A's, maintain all A's. And then my second degree, I ended up getting like a 3.96 or something. I got voted student of the year, graduated with honors and all that shit. But my point is this, guys, not just toot my own horn. My point is this: I had kids. I had two kids at my first degree, three kids for the second one. I was working full time, and going to school and maintaining the grades. And I just always felt like when I was really, really busy, it was easier for me to stay on a consistent schedule because I was like, I know if I don't get certain things done at this time, it's not going to happen, right? And so for me, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but whenever I've been really, really busy in my life, I felt the most productive. Okay, and so again, fast forward again to my career. One of the biggest objections that I get that we get as a fitness professional, and unfortunately, one of the biggest reasons why people don't even start themselves, they don't even decide to walk into a gym, is because in their minds they perceive that they don't have enough time. Right? Right? And we'll get that. That's like a big objection that we'll get, uh, along with some others, is that people don't have time. And it's really, really hard for me to empathize with that because then I tell them, like, look, man, I get it. Everybody's busy. I'm not saying you're not busy. Um, but you guys, everybody has plenty of time. You might not believe that. And I'm not saying nobody's busy. Trust me, I know. But again, a lot of times, if we're not managing that time well, we're not delegating the time, then it's we're just not going to get stuff done and we're not going to be productive, right? And I'm sure you guys have heard all the little things like, and I'm obviously going to spin this into it like a health and fitness thing, but an hour workout is like what 4% of your day or whatever they say, right? Right. And some of you guys know this because I've probably done this to you, but I would pull out the calculator with these people that tell me they're too busy, and I would say, okay, let's do an exercise real quick. There's 168 hours in a week, right? And then we would start going through everything they were busy with. Like, okay, how much do you work every day? And they would lie. They would lie. 12-hour work, 12 hours a day. Like every day? Okay, yeah. So we would do the math, we'd take it off. And it's like, okay, how long does it take you to go back and forth to work? We'd do that. How long are you spending time with your kids? We do that. You're really, really busy. You're working every day, like crazy hours. How much are you sleeping? You're probably not sleeping that much. No, I get about 7, 8 hours of sleep every day. Maybe not. I'm like, how are you guys? So anyway, but they would lie. But regardless, we would take everything they thought they were busy with. And I would say, look, all we need is 3 hours, three of these hours out of your week to improve and maintain your health, right? And by the time we got done with the exercise, they would still have like 70, 80 hours left. So again, it's just one of those things, you guys. We have to just get used. We really have to have, I know, a good lifestyle habit. We have to have some good habits and some good techniques in order to manage our time. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. Okay, I realize it's not directly like a health and fitness thing, but if you want to live a health and fitness lifestyle, you have to get a handle on this. All right, and like Brooke said, Brooke, like you already said it. Somebody upset you last night, right? Now listen, think about how I feel. And I love you guys. I love what I do. I don't ever take anything personal, by the way. I don't think anybody's out there trying to do things to make my life harder. But I mean, like as a professional, all we can do is give you guys the tools and hope that you guys utilize those tools and maximize those tools. And I'll tell you right now, um, there's some people in the group, and not just in the group, but and I know, and I love everybody, but I know that this happens, and it happens quite frequently. That will sign up, late or whatever, because they got reminded by other people who were signing up late, and they probably wouldn't even sign up unless they heard that thing go off, right? And it's like, you guys, here's my point. You have, if you want to be successful with your health and wellness, and you really, really want to like I said, change your lifestyle and get to where you want to get to with your goals, and maintain those things. You have to, number one, make fitness a priority, and you have to plan. You have to plan for it. If you don't plan and you're not thinking about it, if you woke up that day and at some point, probably early on in the day, didn't consider what you were going to do the next day, as far as your workout, and you waited the entire day. You got on your phone several times. You went on social media and you went on the group and you went on whatever, and you posted some stuff and then you weren't thinking about that. One time here and there is probably not going to make or break you, but it tends to turn into a habit. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, at the end of the whatever, you missed a lot of time that you could have been devoting to your health. That makes sense. That makes sense. What I'm saying, you guys, a little bit, kind of. Okay. Okay. Cool. So first thing I want to do now, I just Googled, and I would highly suggest that you guys do this too. So I went on the phone and I Googled. I went to my internet time management tips. Okay. All right. And if you type that in there is a list that'll pop up, and it is a plethora of stuff, you guys. It's a big list. I think about 20 different things under time management tips that it'll give you these different categories, right? So, like the first one is eliminate distractions. Okay, some of the stuff's pretty straightforward, but a couple things on here, like I said, I hadn't even heard of, which I want to play for you guys today. Eliminate distractions, right? So if you click on that thing, it'll pull down all these different links and stuff you can read from experts, and you can click on there's some different tabs down there where you can watch videos. So I want you guys to maybe take some notes if you want to, okay? But I'm gonna give you the list that I see on this thing. So number one, eliminate distractions. Right? Obviously, that's an important thing to do. Set goals correctly. So because of the time, we're not gonna dig into like each one of these. We don't have all the time to do that, but I want to at least give you the outline of these things, these different topics, right? So that you guys can go back later and kind of look at them. Prioritize the most important tasks. Okay, that's the third one on there. And then it says learn to delegate or outsource. Right. So that's obviously a thing that's going to be beneficial for you guys. Take breaks regularly. That's something that I thought was interesting. I don't really consider that as a time management tip. And then also this one, you guys, it says reduce multitasking tasks. So I would have never thought of that. But I always thought multitask. I always thought if you're multitasking, you're using your time pretty well. But and again, you guys, I encourage you to go back and look at this. But it's probably because you're just not being as productive with each task as you could be because you're spreading yourself thin. I would assume. Okay. Reduce multitasking. Establish goals and priorities. I'm gonna start flying through these. Deal with stress wisely. Map out tasks the day before. That is exactly what I was talking about, guys. Guys, all right, planning the day before. Create a daily schedule. Yeah, I use that damn calendar like crazy now. If it's not on my calendar, it pretty much doesn't exist. Learn when to say no. That is that is another interesting one, you guys. Learning when to say no. I'm sure if you think a little bit about what that means or about what that means to you, there's probably some stuff we could eliminate that we could say no to that is not productive to our time management, right? Um, the video. So we're gonna watch video on the 80/20 rule. Has anybody ever heard of that? You guys know what that is? I I was not familiar with that, but we're gonna watch a video on that 80/20 rule. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, you know what
you
that is? Heard of that?
you eat healthy, or your activity level, whatever it is, 80%, and then 20% is when you get to be a slack off, or you don't have to be so restricted.
Gotcha. Okay. So that is kind of news to me, honestly. So I'm gonna we're gonna talk about that. Create a plan. Yes, you gotta create a plan. You gotta create a plan. And then the last one on here says use the Eisenhower matrix. So that's another thing that I was like, I don't even know what that is. Has anybody heard of that Eisenhower matrix? So we'll look at that too. We'll look at that too, you guys. All right, so let me share this screen real quick. We're gonna get into one of these videos. Oh man, I do this every time. Okay, here we go. Desktop. Okay, bear with me. Let me see what this first video. The first video here, I think, is just going over. Oh, this is a TED talk, you guys, and I hope it's good. If it's not, I apologize. But he's going over the philosophy of time management, whatever the heck that means. But let's see if we can learn something here real quick. Oh, you know what? I do want to do one thing before we jump into that. Hey, so real quick, you guys. Can I see everybody? Oh, I have to scroll. Okay. I want everybody to give one tip, one thing that is effective for you as far as time management that you think can help everybody. So feel free to jump in there. Like, what do you guys do in your lives, or what do you think that, or maybe you want to do?
I think if you get up early and go to bed, like you have good sleep hygiene, that you can be more productive in general, and that saves time.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry.
I'm a big list maker.
Hang on, guys. Let me pause this thing. Okay, who was that? Sarah Doss?
It was me. Yeah, I'm a huge list maker, like, because, especially with babies in my life right now, I don't always get to get solid sleep. So to make sure that I'm not missing, like forgetting to do anything, I make lists. Like, and I have whiteboards on my refrigerator
Okay.
to write down stuff that I'm gonna forget all the time. It helps.
Awesome. Do you find that you now I know, like, so I do that too sometimes, but I found that with my list they just seem to get longer, and I'm not getting shit done sometimes. But my point is, do you try to like prioritize the things on the list? Like, do you ever like reshuffle it and like put the top ones on top? Like, these are the
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have two whiteboards. One is my like mom brain list where I'm just writing shit down.
Yeah.
And I will organize that one. And then another one is a time schedule that I keep for the babies and for myself, because I have
Okay.
to remember to
Oh yeah.
feed them and pump and hydrate and eat and change.
Right.
And so,
I
yeah.
remember the days.
Yeah, and I use a calendar like a madwoman. Like, I can't
Yeah.
function without a calendar.
Yeah, calendar, and set some damn alarms.
Yeah, and alarms. Yes, alarms, calendars, like all the bells and whistles. You need them.
Gotcha. All right, who else? Lourdes, Bernadette, Brooke. What do you got?
I have an alarm for everything. Like
Okay.
there's no getting around that. I plan everything. I plan my meals. I plan my workout. I plan everything. Like, everything has to be in front of me. I don't go out of my plan. I'm very weird like that. Like, I'm a type A. So yeah,
Okay.
everything has to have an alarm. Everything has to be planned. And if it's not in my plan, you can guarantee that I won't be doing it.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you something. You might not have thought of this. Do you plan like playtime too? Do you put like things into your schedule where it's like, all right, I'm gonna have a break this day, or I'm gonna have a
Yeah. Let's say I plan activities.
Okay.
During the day time, especially at work, I have times when I know I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk outside the building. I'm going to get some sun. So stuff like that. Yes, I plan it. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And do you use your planning for the calendar or what?
Me?
Yeah. What do you do?
I have alarm, but remember when you're doing something over and over, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
So most of the times I just know, okay, this is this time, just go do this,
All
but
right.
yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Brooke, what you got, Brooke? I heard you, Brooke. What were you gonna say? Oh, you can mute.
I'm like LaShonda trying to find a mute. I'm like everybody, make a plan, and then I'll do a backup plan. Like, this morning I wanted to work out at 5:30 because I had an appointment.
Yeah.
During the 8:30 session. So I couldn't work out because it got canceled. So I just went to the gym. Or I went to my apartment gym and worked out. So
got it.
So that's pretty much it. Just make a plan.
Okay.
And that's for my days that I know, like, I have stuff to do. Like on my off days, if I don't have nothing to do, I kind of like do other things. It's not really a plan for that day. It's not nothing I can plan. I get up and work out. I try to work out in the morning times. That's the best time for me to work out. It's
Yeah.
easier and it's just what you call it. But as far as anything else, I really, as long as I don't have nothing to do, it's not planned. But usually on my days I have stuff to do, I have to make a plan because I can't think of everything and
Yeah.
did a lot of drugs and my
Come on,
brain
Brooke.
sometimes
Brooke.
I stopped, but I still got the after effects. So
Exactly. You know,
I have to,
right.
yeah. So I have to remember stuff.
But
Yeah.
remember, hey, you're doing the right thing though, because working out helps your cognitive function. So you can balance that out. You know, you keep working out, bro. Just keep working out. Who got Lourdes? We got Lourdes.
Well, you know me being Hispanic, just like I don't do any measurements when I cook. I never have any plans, no reminders, no alarms,
Okay.
nothing.
Well, okay. So you say that, but you are one of the most organized people I've met, and you do taxes, okay? So so you're obviously, maybe it's like all mental, maybe you're just mentally like mapping stuff out, or mentally, but you created a habit of some consistency somewhere.
I think for me, everything is already a habit. That's it.
Okay. Do you feel like it's because you had kids and you just had to get used to like managing?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I got you. Okay, good, you guys. Let's we're gonna jump into this video real quick on this TED Talk, okay? And honestly, I don't know what he's gonna share, but hopefully it's something valuable. The philosophy of time management. So let's listen to this real quick.
When I was 6 years old, my biggest fear was to get bored. I used to make to-do lists every single day, so I'd always have something to do. But one day I was watching this documentary on sea turtles, and it said that sea turtles can live up to 150 years of age. And I realized, as a 6-year-old kid, that I'm probably not going to live that long. I'm going to die. It's such a strange realization. Don't you feel weird sometimes when you realize that no matter what you do in life, you're still going to die in the end? So I ran to my mother and asked her, Mom, is it true that we're all going to die someday? You, me, Dad, my friends? And she said, yes, we're all going to die. There's nothing you can do about that. And I was horrified. I started to cry, and I cried so hard because of what death meant. It literally means the end of existence, the end of everything. And I wondered, what's the point of all this? So I turned to my mom, still crying, and said, so why do we work? Why do I have to work? Why does Dad have to work so much if he and everybody else are going to die anyway? She never answered my question. But that question stuck with me. I ask myself a lot of questions, and I'm sure you do too. That's what philosophy is all about, asking questions. And what could be more important than asking questions about how to use your time? Probably nothing, because time is all we have. So naturally, you would expect the whole time management movement to be very philosophical. After all, time management is a concept that started out in philosophy. The ancient philosophers were obsessed with this one very important question. How can we use our time in a way that makes our lives meaningful? But modern time management is philosophically empty. Time management books are written by consultants, not philosophers. It's always about tips and tricks and techniques to get more things done, to do things faster, to be more productive, more efficient, and to work better. Time management has become philosophically empty. Time management has moved away from its philosophical roots. But if we really want to live a meaningful life, we have to once again reinfuse time management with philosophy. And philosophy starts with questions. Here's a very simple question. Why do we need to manage time? Some people might say it's because time is precious, very precious, so we need to manage it. But how precious is time exactly? See, whenever I introduce myself to people as a time management researcher, the first thing people say is, Yeah, time management. That's really important because time is money. Time is money. Every time I hear time is money, it reminds me of this conversation I had over coffee with this acquaintance of mine. He was a contractor. As we were talking, he looked slightly annoyed and impatient. So I asked him, "Yeah, what's going on, man? Everything all right?" And he said, "Just that I hate wasting my time. It makes me so angry." So I asked him, "What do you mean?"
Who is that? Is that
And he
Lorna?
said,
Lorna?
"Look,
Mute your phone, Lorna.
I'm making $100 an hour. That means every hour I spend with you, I'm losing $160. I was slightly offended, to be honest. But it's what he said next that really shocked me. He said, "Whenever I'm spending time with my own kids, it makes me so angry because, yeah, I'm spending time with them, but every hour I spend with my kids, I'm not making $160. And this is not just an anecdote. You can see this everywhere. Experiments show that whenever people start to think of time as money, they become more agitated, less happy, always in a rush. And importantly, they get greedy. They become less likely to help people out, to volunteer, or to think about the environment. Because nothing else matters when you're making $160 an hour. The real question is money the real value of time? The Roman philosopher Seneca said that if we think of time as money, we're actually valuing our time very cheaply. We value our time very cheaply because we think we have a lot of it, because we think we're going to live forever.
Okay, hey, time out on that one. I didn't realize how long that one was, you guys. And I see where he's going. He's giving you the idea of how to value time, and how to look at time effectively. But there's some other videos I want to get to real quick. So if you have any thoughts on that one, hold your thoughts for a second. Let's look at this next one here. This is going to be on tips, time management tips. So let's I'm gonna start that one. These are shorter videos. And then what I want to do is we'll watch them, you guys. And then again, if you have any input, or anything you want to say. What is that? 15 seconds. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's loading. Just hang out. Here we go.
Okay, we all get busy. Sometimes our mind is cluttered and our lives are as well. Well, I'm going to teach you how to manage your time better and even be more productive. And if you stay to the end of this video, I have a master hack productivity list that is just going to add to what I'm already sharing with you in this video. Hi, I'm Adriana Girdler, a productivity specialist with over 20 plus years in the business. Let me tell you, good time management is the key, the foundation to being productive. And I'm going to share with you some tried and true techniques that I use all the time and 4 key tips that you're going to want to integrate into your busy schedule today. Don't create a crazy schedule. It is so easy for us to create a to-do list and it becomes a laundry list. And then we get overwhelmed by that. And then all of a sudden, there's no way we're going to be able to accomplish everything. So what I would like for you to start thinking about is, yeah, you can have your list, but prioritize it. Pick 1 to 2 main goals and just get that done. If you're to focus on that and not have all those other items present in front of you, I'm not saying get rid of them, but maybe put them aside and just focus on those goals. It makes a world of a difference from a time management perspective. And it puts you in a positive mindset because you actually got those 2 core elements done. When you're done, you can rotate it back onto your main list. But at the present moment, focus on 1 to 2 things that are critical for you to get done. And don't overschedule that list. Pay attention to your calendar. This actually is a common mistake I see in organizations all the time, where people are so focused on their to-do list for today that they're not taking a look at their calendar. And what I mean by this is you have to constantly take a look at your calendar from activities you have to do today, tomorrow, this week, and even a month from now. And in my world, I actually look out months from now, sometimes going into the next year. So that all being said is when you're trying to be really productive and really manage your time effectively, you want to focus on your 1 to 2 goals that I said in the other tip, but you have to take into account what else is coming down the pike. So don't just focus on today. Integrate and look at your calendar so you can see what else you have to do, because maybe just 5 minutes here or a half hour there in regards to those future activities can make a huge difference, because a little bit does go a long way. Are you ready to get back on track and not be overwhelmed? Write down less stress in the comments below. Don't overwork yourself. If you're going to be the master of your time and learn how to manage it properly, well, then you really got to take into account how you're working. Stress levels can get really high, and you don't want to constantly be plugging in things that you have to do. So schedule in some rest time. That's really important. It's important to your well-being and your health, and it's going to make a huge difference. Now, if you're saying, Adriana, I'm so busy, I can't do it. I get it. You may want to put some rules into place. Like if you have kids, you're not going to check any of your emails till they go to bed. Okay, fine. I get it. Or you may want to say, you know what? The weekend truly is my time. Saturday, there's nothing. Sunday during the day, there's nothing. But on Sunday evening, I'm going to prep for the following week. That's okay too. But you really got to balance it out. Fit rest time into your schedule. Have you ever heard of burnout? We all have been there one time or another. If it hasn't been burnout at work, it's probably been burnout at home, because not only do we have these time commitments and obligations from a work perspective, if you have a family, I'm sure you have lots of them going on at home too. You got to schedule in some time for yourself. Now, how is this going to help you from being a master of your time and ensuring that you're really good with your time management? It's huge. Sometimes 5 minutes of de-stressing can do just that, help you distress and look at things in a different light. So schedule some time for yourself. You really are important. Just like on the plane, when they tell when the oxygen mask falls off, don't put it on the kid first, put it on you. Then put it on the kid. Because guess what? You can't help anybody if you yourself are not focusing on you and helping yourself. So schedule some time for yourself. You are worth it. Implement all these tips and you can manage your time better with ease. Now that you know how to manage your time better, you need to download my free giveaway just for you. And that is how to incorporate some more productivity into your day. Please grab it from the link below.
Okay. I'm going to stop that right there. All right, guys. Hey, go ahead and unmute if you want to. What did you get? Anything. I got something good at that video, but anything you want to say? Anything you got out of that? Your biggest take,
So
whatever.
I have to touch on the fact that she mentioned don't overload your list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big list maker and I'm pretty good about knowing my limits
Yeah.
on what to take on for that day. But my husband puts everything on the weekend. He's like, no, we'll do that on the weekend. No, I'll do that on the weekend. I'll do that on the weekend.
And it's not
I'm
really
like,
weekend.
I'm like, bro, do you think our weekends are like,
Yeah.
do you think our days run 48 hours at a time? They don't. And sure enough, he'll do like one or two things, and then he's like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing anything else. I'm like,
Exactly.
well, great. Now we still have, X, Y, and Z to still accomplish, but.
Right. So prioritize your dang list.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else? Anybody else? Nobody? Well, I'll say one thing. Brittany, welcome, Brittany. Welcome. Brittany, I'm sorry. I didn't even know how long you were on there for. Seriously, man, my computer. I'm just going to blame my computer. I saw the thing popped up. But yeah, anyway, welcome, Brittany. Hey, one thing that you guys, this is a little off topic, but it's what you said at the end, and the plane analogy. Kind of hardcore if you think about that. Like, put it on yourself first before you put it on the child. But she's right, and I've told people this, and this is the reason why I say she's right. Obviously, you're gonna risk your life for your child, but you guys, if you're gonna be the most productive person, and I know a lot of people in their lives they put everybody else first, and because they say, oh, I care about them so much, blah, blah. But they do it to the point where they neglect their own health, and it's like this, you guys. We're talking about prioritizing things and scheduling things into your days. To me, the most important thing to schedule in your day is your damn workout. Is your health. Well, it doesn't have to be the workout. Whatever it is, meditation, something that's going to help your wellness. Because I mean, here's the deal: at the end of the day, if we don't have that, you literally do not have anything else, and you can't help anybody else either if you're not at your best. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Me, I'm horrible at staying with the calendar and the list. I have worked my whole life on it, and it's something that I fall off the wagon. I'll be super overwhelmed by the amount of things. Whatever the reason is, I'm too busy doing things on the list to look at the list. Or if you're like, William, you're never at home to list all day. Well, I have found by prioritizing, day has maybe 5 goals. I got to drink water. I have to try to sleep good. And I need to go to the gym. I have to get some money. You know what I mean? And then it's like, that's it. I'm just keep it simple. If I can hit at least at like 80% at those goals, then I did something good.
Yeah. So
That's all I can. I don't like structure.
I got you. So you're saying you might have like a general list, but each day you have like a specific list?
Like I have like priorities, and then every day there's going to be probably 5 that I absolutely need to reach, like without failing. And fitness and drinking water and going to sleep, like my health has to be on the top. Like I don't have a choice anymore. Like I just don't have good enough health to mess around.
Gotcha. All right. I like it. Anybody else? We got. I'm gonna try to fly through these. We got 3 more videos, guys. So this other one is also some tips. And then the last 2 we're going over. Remember, one was the 80-20 rule. Okay, and then the other one was the Eisenhower matrix, which I believe those are both about learning how to prioritize your list or whatever your tasks that you have. But let's look at this other one. Hopefully, he gives us some different tips than the first video. But again, I encourage you to take some notes or whatever. And feel free to share when we get done. This is a pretty quick one too. I think it's like 6 minutes. I'm trying to fly through this one here real quick. Let's see. Uh-oh. What does it say?
Thousands of women are ditching their
1
anti-wrinkle
minute.
cream and using this Cleopatra's hack instead.
Hang on.
This
Oh,
intriguing
that might have
solution
just been the ad.
involves a blue antioxidant from the
Okay, here we go. Okay, listen up. Here it is. Hopefully. We are loading. Come on.
Hi, everybody.
Here we go.
Welcome back. I sent out a survey to my email list recently, and I asked, what was the one thing that you're struggling with the most in your business or your creative practice? And one of the top answers I got back was time management, how to manage your time in the most productive way. So what I want to talk about in this video today are 10 ways that you can rescue an unproductive day. Number 1, schedule everything. If it's not on your calendar, don't do it. So that means time blocking. Put everything on your calendar. Put everything from waking up and drinking coffee and taking a shower and walking your dog to client calls, to design time, to marketing time, to business development. Block out every moment of your day and treat every time block as a deadline that you have to meet. Number 2 is kill the squirrels. Turn off desktop notifications. Turn off Twitter notifications on your phone, news notifications. I, for one, am incredibly distractible. And so it keeps me ping-ponging from one thing to another, and I may be deep in thought and deep in a process of doing one particular thing, and a desktop notification pops up, and it attracts my attention. I think, oh, I got to answer that email, or I just got to read that article. And before you know it, I am completely distracted. So kill the squirrels. Number 3 is do that one thing. Do that thing that if you made just a little bit of progress on it and did nothing else during the day, that you would feel like you made some progress that day. I suffer from productivity paralysis. I have a tendency to do low priority things first because they're small and I think I can get a bunch of them out of the way. But what ends up happening is that I deprioritize that most important thing, and it ends up happening at the end of the day when I'm really tired or not at all. So prioritize that one thing, and it's generally the thing that you don't want to do the most, or you most want to procrastinate about. And I do that thing first before I look at email, before I do anything else. Do that one thing. Number 4 is set up a reward. Set up a reward for getting something done or a series of things done. It could be as little as a cookie or a walk around the block or listening to some music, or it could be as big as a dinner out or a trip to Vegas. Give yourself a reward and set up a reward, something to look forward to for staying focused. Number 5 is an easy one. Make plans. Make plans at the end of the day to go do something, because then you have to make sure that you're going to be ready and you're going to be done with what you're doing so you can go do that thing that you planned. It sounds really simple, and it is. Just make a plan to do something, and it forces you to stay more focused. Number 6 is take breaks, and you have to schedule those breaks on your calendar. It's proven that the top 10% of performers take 15-minute breaks after every hour. Just taking a break clears your mind, and when you come back to the work, it makes you more focused. It seems counterintuitive, but it actually works, and it's better for your body because you get up from your desk and you get some circulation going. Number 7 is do something unrelated to your to-do list. If you're doing a lot of designing, you may want to do a crossword puzzle or do some reading. If you're working with a lot of numbers or words, you may want to do some image research or look at a photography book. By giving your brain a break and working on something unrelated to your to-do list and unrelated to what it is that you have been working on, it refreshes your brain for when you get back to it. Number 8 is no delete key. Plow right through. If you're writing, don't edit while you're writing that first draft. If you're designing, don't get all noodly and perfectionistic on that first design that you're doing. Go for volume. Kick a bunch of things out. It's incredibly helpful and can make you more productive than getting perfectionistic about things too early on. Number 9 is no multitasking. People think that they're great multitaskers, but it's been scientifically proven that we're really not built for that mentally. So, trying to focus on one thing is going to make you much more productive, and you have to get rid of distractions. So, if you're writing, turn off your phone. If you're on a Skype call, close that browser window. If you're designing, go full screen so you don't have a bunch of windows distracting you. You want to make sure that you're focusing on the task at hand and time blocking with your calendar. If you're focused on that deadline or that time block you have to do that thing, that's going to be helpful. And finally, number 10 is document your processes. Now, this is a bit of an investment and it's a little bit of slowing down before you speed up, but it's a really valuable one. You want to write down the steps and processes in every major thing that you do. For instance, I have a checklist of about 15 things that I go through when I create a YouTube video, from recording to editing to thumbnail art, etc. And by documenting your processes, one of the added benefits of this is that if you have people on your staff or you eventually get a virtual assistant or something like that, you can use this documentation to train them to do what it is that you do, to be able to delegate more easily what it is that you do. And by having those steps codified, it makes it easier for you to be efficient with your time and to get things done very systematically. So you want to write down.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna cut that one off. There's like a minute left, but I want to get to these last two. Hold your thoughts real quick. Let's talk about this 80-20 rule. Hopefully, we'll have enough time to talk here because I do got one more important tip for you guys that has not been covered. Okay, let's see what they got to say about this thing because, like I said, this was news to me. Oh man, 8 minutes.
The Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, is a concept which can completely change the way you approach your life, making you more productive, happy, and even wealthy if you use it right. In this video, I'll explain how it works, how I use it, and give you 5 ways that you can utilize the Pareto principle to your advantage. The general precept is that 20% of the input produces 80% of the output and vice versa. For example, 20% of the clients generally produce 80% of the sales, 20% of the bugs are responsible for 80% of the crashes, and 20% of any efforts we make produce 80% of the actual results. And while the actual numbers may fluctuate, the point is there's always a huge disparity between the input and the output, and we can use that knowledge to concentrate our efforts on what's most important instead of giving equal attention to everything. Actually, forget about the numbers, just think in terms of trivial many and vital few whenever I mention the principle. The first and more or less classic use of the 80-20 rule is about optimizing your money-making strategies. Let's say you start selling t-shirts online. Then some of your designs would inevitably outsell the others by quite a big margin. The goal is to find the pattern behind the successful design while also figuring out what just doesn't seem to work and optimizing your future designs to that knowledge. Or let's take blogging as another example. Then 20% of your posts would generate 80% of your traffic. Not only can you try to learn the successful pattern, but you can also drive the traffic from those posts to your other pages, making more affiliate sales and add revenue in the process. Using the Pareto principle also lets you find and fix most vital mistakes that may be causing the bottleneck effect. Let's say you have a website. No matter how good it is, if it doesn't load fast enough, 80% of users would close it in a matter of seconds. And that's a lot of lost traffic which was already yours. If you overlook the loading speed, you're effectively wasting 80% of your efforts over something that trivial. The principle can also be used for optimizing your workflow. For example, as an editor, I'm guilty of spending way too much time perfecting my cuts and animations. However, I'm pretty sure that no one would even notice any difference whatsoever. Using the principle doesn't mean you should completely ignore less important aspects of your job or deliver unpolished products, but rather hints you that not all of your efforts are equal, and most importantly, some of them mean much less than we used to think. The 80-20 rule is extremely valuable when you need to set up your goals. Modern world bombards us with possibilities, and you can go for thousands of different things in your life. The common mistake that many of us do is picking a few goals and going for them simultaneously, while evenly spreading our efforts. The problem is, our energy is not limitless, and by slowly progressing over a multitude of things at once, we might get tired and discouraged at some point, since the results just wouldn't match our efforts. There is a world of difference between having 5 things at 20% of completion and 1 fully accomplished thing. The Pareto principle lets you rank your goals by their impact on your life. Make a list of what you want to achieve and ask yourself, if I could have one thing right now, what would make the most positive impact on my life? And there is a good chance that the top 1 or 2 goals would make the most drastic changes, while the rest would simply complement that, so you know which ones you should concentrate on first and foremost. By doing just one big thing at a time, you will make more progress and see the results faster, which is a huge psychological benefit. As a side
Okay. I get where that's going. We got about 8 minutes. And listen. So, I actually have heard of that now. It's ringing a bell now, you guys. And I'm gonna tell you something that's a good technique to do for this, for what he's talking about. So this is a good, you guys should all do this. Especially when it comes to your workouts. If you ever feel like you're having a hard time like fitting your workouts in, you know, or whatever your goal is. Let's say you're having a hard time working out, right? Put the top like maybe 20 things that you think are getting in the way, right? Just make a list of the top 20 things that get in the way, okay? That are taking up a lot of your time, that are causing you to miss these workouts or miss whatever, right? And then, the 20% of that would be 4. You pick 4 of those things that you absolutely cannot get rid of. And then you start to delegate, like with the other 16 or whatever, chop off time from each of those things out of your day, right? And that will free up a lot of time for you. So that's one example of how you can use that. But hey, what I want to say real quick to you guys, and this might sound very, very cliche. Hopefully you got something out of like those tips and whatever those people were saying. But one thing that's going to help you guys manage time, you guys, is working out. I know you probably knew that was coming, but listen, if you work out more, people in my experience, the ones that actually continue to exercise, even if they are really busy, feel like they get time back just because they're more efficient. Your cognitive functions better, you're sleeping better, you're stressed, you can handle stress more efficiently, your energy levels are better, all that good stuff. Okay, so yeah, you guys all on here on the right track with that. Keep making fitness, part of the equation. Um, but yeah, what did you guys? Did you guys last call? Did you guys get anything out of those? Did you feel like you learned something? I learned a few things, like the multitasking. I would have thought that'd have been a smart thing, but apparently not. So
Major, minor, prioritize the goals.
yeah, I think that was the main point.
I don't know. Some of the tips on there I didn't really agree with, William. Like
Yeah,
homie saying not to multitask and only focus on one thing at a time. I'm like, no, I don't.
He
I
spoke
don't.
slowly for me to
That's
trust
true.
what he's saying.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm like,
he
have
wasn't
you?
the only one that said that.
His brain's slow.
No, that guy wasn't the only one. Remember, there was one of the ladies said it too.
They do say that we're not built for that, and that causes stress on us and
Yeah.
causes us more fractured instead of laser focused.
I wonder if what
Yeah,
they're saying is
I
if
don't
they're
think you
talking
should
about
multitask everything in your life.
yeah.
Some things do deserve your undivided attention. But we're human, it's
Sometimes you
kind of,
almost have to. I feel like.
yeah,
Moms do for sure.
yes. I literally grow an extra set of 4 tentacle arms out of my butt daily.
Get it,
Right.
girl.
Hey, let me ask you this. I don't want to put you guys on the spot. If you had somebody you were trying to convince to exercise, right? Right? And they said that they didn't have enough time, what would you tell them? I want everybody to tell me something.
It's just another excuse like the rest.
You would not
Yeah.
say. Okay, maybe you would say that.
I tell my
I
sister,
say what you say.
Okay.
that,
Hang on, time out. Wait. Let me
no.
get more specific. I agree with you 1000%. But that's probably not the most effective thing to just say to them because what they're probably just
It's
going
not-
to be even more defensive and disgruntled at that. So, what kind of tip would you give them, or what kind of way would you try to make them understand that they have time?
Well,
Like what-
like how you do. I always say it's however many hours in a week. You really
Yeah.
don't have to work out 3 times a day, an hour a day. So out of that time, 3 hours, you can get 3 hours
Yeah.
to go to the
I-
gym a week. So
I would probably just speak from my own experience, because
yeah, that
my
too.
days are pretty full.
Yeah.
So breaking up my workouts, doing part of it before I get my work day started,
Yeah.
and then finishing it like on my lunch break or even right before I go pick up from daycare, it helps,
Yeah.
so there is time. It's just managing your time. And
Yeah.
if you're trying to convince somebody to, work out, maybe be like, tell me about your day. Maybe I can help you rearrange your schedule or find that little spot where you can take care of you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Who else? Bernadette.
I'm so direct. So I would have to ask that person, you don't owe yourself an hour to work out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like you owe yourself an hour or 30 minutes. So that's how I put that.
That's true. Who is that? Lourdes, my goodness, Lourdes, you killing me. Lourdes, what about you, Lourdes?
I think that there is times where you can multitask and there's times when you can't. Like right now, while we're in Zoom, I don't think we can be multitasking because you won't listen, you won't be paying attention.
Yeah. I
No,
got
I am.
I'm multitasking.
I listen
might
well.
be missing some stuff, huh? Okay, well, true. But what would you tell somebody? Like in your own words, what would you tell somebody that said they didn't have time to work out?
Well, nobody has time. You have to make the time for it.
Hey, there you go. All right,
There you go.
I like it. Brittany.
Make time for sick then, if you don't.
What would you tell somebody, Brittany?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Okay, no. Do like if you're talking to your family and it's like I don't have time. What do you think you would say? Like, I mean, because do you agree that everybody has time? First of all,
Some people don't.
that is not true. Brittany. I'm gonna let you slide because you missed half the call. So
I think even at work, like even at work, I feel like people, you can get up and go walk up some stairs. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to make it like something to get your health just going. It don't have to be like a structured workout or something like that.
True.
But just do something. So
right.
Just do
Well,
something.
and I think one of them made an important point. I'm trying to think back to what the example was, but it was one of the last guys in the videos, and he was saying how if he feels like he's not getting the whole thing done, he's just probably not going to do it.
Yeah, he's getting
I think a lot
overwhelmed.
of people, think about working out the same way. They're like, man, the whole workout, I'm just going to skip. That is not the right mindset because we get those habits.
And it's like, oh, I have to go 80% when really if you could just go 20 and build from there.
Yeah. Get something done. But yeah, Brittany, I mean, I'm glad, but here's the thing. People believe that. And like I said, I think it's a matter of, like Lourdes said, making the time, you guys. And I don't think anybody here
Make the time.
that. You guys are pretty good. You guys are pretty good, obviously, about making time. You made time to be on this call. You made time to show up to boot camp. You made time, But I think the biggest takeaway that we can take away from that, or at least for me, is you got to plan it. You got to plan it into your days, you guys. You got to plan it. And it's like, if you're gonna go to the gym at night, right, and you don't have your bag with you and you go home, you're probably not gonna go to the gym. You know, so I mean, you gotta have a plan, and you gotta make sure that it is consistently at the top of your priorities, in my opinion, right? At least from a health standpoint. So, any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that?
See, like me, like I have a lot of people tell me because I work from home that
Yeah.
I have time, but I'm like, no, because if I wanted to, I can just drop off the kids at school, come back and go to bed and sleep all day.
Yeah, true. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah, you got to make the time. Yeah, no matter what. Yeah, I think if you make time, and also don't pressure yourself to think that like you have to go 100% all the time either. You know, as long as you're getting something done, chopping away at those goals, you know, that's the biggest thing. Just staying
Yes.
productive. Right. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Hopefully you got something out of that. I know it wasn't directly like a health and fitness thing, but this is important if you want to, you know, make fitness a lifestyle, you guys. So thank you for jumping on. And any last things, any last comments, questions, concerns, anything?
Nope. Bye, y'all.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next
Bye.
week. Have a good one.